time for this to radar something for the radical, enough for the reactivate. This is the rider for the reluctant. Rebate, a rebellion, rebound, ravish, ravine the raves. This is the ocean to say goodbye for what was celebrated for the ways of the paradox. Paraphrase those for the days of the side day back to the back of the day for the AIDS. And this is lover for the change and no need for not the meter for the millimeters or over the meteor. Then you'll be for this. You can find a contender for the testing of what confess. This is only confusing. Confident for yet continue to conflict your feelings in. What's felt tried and held up like memory belts. This is only the appetite for the eating and moral rights, the living wrongs, to right for life. This is the right, the strife for the stripes. The heights to perceive the right, for this is misled, for the right to spit over this is spite. The evil's the thirst. Not be warned to the worst, this to find worst words to say for the outside, that I be righteous, whatever they're doing the right way. Defending your house is rather than that compulsive liar. Who they are for this inspired, for the spiraled over the inspired wicked. Become uncomfortable. You uncontrollable and uncomfortable, and initiated innately, and over the innovative for the overlading, over you for this the heart doors hardening, hindering and intangibly for the endearing. Your behavior for the tragedy, for this a trajectory for your ejecting of a projection. It couldn't have made sense. But it was just the cause of the fact for this to be affection, the cause this is only. Not to be just because nothing over the nobody for the spirit for the me inside of you for what you came from for the eyes that gave you to see for this front to back to now you know you see me now for they get to know me because I know you from what I want for the new you back into this when you knew me. This is it was brand new for this is that a brand for this gave you for all. You will become one carried by the three for which equals the trinity for the three for the power for the hours and over the minutes minus the minuscule. Equality for the ministry, for the oracles and the history of the mystical mysteries. Mystery has company hanging the mystical real threes. Trapped in the box, the world winding for this him to pop out for the pop industry, for the popularity, so the population, for the prospects and your prosperity, for the probability, for the providence and pro advice of you. Understanding of adding just to the equations, so this is all equal denominations for the discriminative, for the criminal behavior, for the honey to me. From me to you, because that for one that gave it to. This is only the supper for the Lord's bread that gave life to pour, for this is righteous. Hungry enough to find the table, the contents, the living word, for the living verbs, and the living now, and the living then, and living now, everlasting for the river, for the runs of spring, and now waking from sleep. The dead now, sight blind, this read now. The written for the paraphrase that said it now, like I said it then. When there was and I was there and here now for this even where you weren't. Now or never been now for to the beginning for the last ending. I know everything of the everlasting tree of life for the fruit. For the tree, for the treats, for your knowledge and your knowing it. And now and I said it yes, so this is what you find out what you say or know. Know how to say yes, or this is what even don't you know now. Know how to say what is not what you could possibly know for what you don't. Understand for how to come to this be becoming for the returning to for the sacrifice of the offerings of the blessings to me. Give it to me for the story, for the give and glory for you through the history, for the hyping and hypotheticals and hypocrisy, for the hyper aware for what your A is. Aware to be where for this to be where I am for always need to be to find a need for this need to be for this to find a bond. Who gave the begun to begin, the beginning for the ending to the game for the time for the win for the because I am when. It's the ending of the tribe by three for the tribe of the me for the Indians and the natives and the killed by the naive who didn't believe sacred grounds in me for this the clay of man dusted on dust meek. Thus the trust and the strength and for the week for the time for the week for the 7 for the days and the calendar for the sun for the gaming. Gave it light away for the coming to see me for the darkening and illuminated for me to master space of this energetic as I am. Physical nature for the environment for the surrounded by the circle for the square root for your soil tree for the breathing of life. Provides that was planted me for the blood, for the land, for the river that flows within. Creation of the creatures, creator for the equator. You're equally adding to be for the ladder, for the body to climb up to me, for the treehouse of your kingdom to come up the way, for the Christ of the Yahweh.
abstract in a sense. To me, contrast the mind, soul, and it's like God calls me, but the devil that does is struck. How do I get lost in thought? Abstract in a sense. To me, contrast the mind, soul, and it's like God calls me, but the devil that does is struck. How do I get lost in thought when thought for the battle so hardly fought collapse right in front of the eyes of this world filled with the fake happiness and the lies of depression growing? It's like someone wants to stop pain, blood from flowing into sanity, hanging on the balance of the fine line between the love and the hate. For the instance, for the body feel like the battlefield, for the scars of the body like the state for that we build. I feel like the war is affecting for all to see the light to perfect, or directly for the staggered, for the walk, the time to time, for the maybe this because of the pain, for the depression, the drink, for the prime, for the feeling dumb because it always try to let it out, but the mouth decides to close. And I utter a single word for the blank stare left it all out. But with each day, reason to be styled for the try to curb my life to the perfect accord, for the feel like myself day by day, for the never the know, for the ultimate price to pay, for the passing of the day, for the continuing the urge to drink, for the drink, for the firm decision not to sit as a brink, what identity feel forgotten to me, for never to go, or to get where I want to be, for the need to not to know, or the heart for the steal, for the right to me, for the debt to bestow, for the know, for the ending of life, for the beyond to say goodbye, for the wife. Or let the stories be told that one day your tap was bold enough for the take the head, for the never enough for the will for the that was born. And they say live long, that would be the start of the sad song. And just a thought for the flicker of you, and intelligence for this to be the health outdated, out for the type, for media, or use what the media you for this to blade for the cutting through me, for the next thing I know I was tied up like a stretcher. And sealed with the weight for the set adrift in the ocean, for the love and the message for the bottle to come. Inflections, maybe the night wanted to be your turf and curl. It chose the entire depth. This is the depth that reside inside of your eyes. This is the sun that wanted to rise from his sleeping slumber. It chose the crimson hue for the lips, the color for the morning red, dawn bright, lost warfare, wayfare. I move for the fingers of the turf for the hiding, you're embracing, you're for the forgetting the pain for the least for the night. New moon tomorrow. Time to write the new spell for the people to say to be careful. Seekers for the night, for the knife that you can hit, the head knife for the shadow, for the black shadows, so that your dark atlas, the ravens and crickets, the woman, your knife for the overwhelming or welcoming, dear me. For the night sky painted black with the sparkling of the stars, and the way the space of the owl starts to awaken, you're starting right enough for the announce your soul for the dare to go into the night, for the blurry shadows of your darker version of the day, for the crimes that happen. Everyone is asleep, vulnerable enough for the natural light. Moonlight shining on all of us at a disturbing time, but the secrets locked doors with no keys. This is slept through for the voiding of the darkness of the time, for the voiding your blurry shadows. And what you hope for yawn, brewing over your coffee, the smelling of what you new moon. And handling a situation better than what you find and celebrating for. No clue. You don't know the pain that you know of, or that you can find out what you know of yet. The love of my life. Whom do I not know? Many things, a few words. This not the promise, this the action to recourse. Things to the few, for the never to find, hope to cling to, for the cry, for the tears that never fill my eyes, and the photo find the some time. This photosynthesis for the energy in the eye, and the aging, freezing you. Love in my heart is not the one for the stay for long enough to come and go, so this is busy enough that she loves. The actions and reflections and reactions can change satisfaction and the pain, controlling your thoughts. Hard to go, but I forgot, but this is charged with what I have to say, for this is sometimes hard to walk away, for the continual, for the commanding of what I do, for the take a stand, for the coming unglued.
Lit just to be light under the eyeshadows for the face, your sun. This makes the daydream for the you will feel the safe skin, being familiar with the spirit that's within you. I'm in the verse of the sound for the heart, for the beat and sync. This is no submarine for the relationship with the body, the water, the sail to see you again. For the sure they reach the shore of the islands, disembowel the mountain over the home for the deserter, for the desert, the selfish live for the fish, the selfless lamp for the selfish beat by. Love for bypass, a love for seafood. For that I see that when I look with you with the full of love, for this is teach a school of fish, this is learn to swim, for the correlating your lesson, for the call taught, this brought to community corny jokes. Vegetarian or pescatarian can be for this, for no acronyms to laugh out loud silently, for the humorous and humility for the human, whether the factors over your fiction and nonsense had the bone to pick for this bite to sharp. Swordfish with the oscars, the war, the celebratory for the celebrate. Or celebrate that celibacy for the sure no fucks, just to get the orgasm for the words to play the keys. You're open like to free the mind, body, the soul, for the curse to hand and written over the curse of force, just words ahead to bring to pray over the love for the bonds that we build the interest in, over there for the enter. Restrooms to sleep in, for this is only pissed off, for they can never touch the savings account for the investment over your inventory, the information for the including the income for the out of the pictures that drink over the licking of a store. The catwalk, the street display, dispensed over the disposing of the describe, just scroll, this scribble over your wet concrete, this discreetness is discovering over your discipline for the dissipating, your disappearing over the scribe. Disobedience for the discourse, discreet enough for the dissipate, dissolve for the disperse, discovered your dislove, this cherish, this life, this distill death, this do, despair for the 2-1 for the describing, your opportunity for the declaring or the define, for the definition for the riches, for your discounting, your disappearing over the redundant sounds, to disappear over the sounds, to survive, to describe. A decimal point to the destiny, destination over the this story, the love, all the end for this beginning and all that becomes.